This is part 3, and I'd like to make this the last part of the colorism saga. So I'm going to try to wrap it up within the next 15 minutes. And the thing is about that, there is racism on all tracks of life. I left off with the whites and Asians, excuse me, not being on the list of colorism, because the lady didn't bring up whites and Asians. She brought up Latins and black ladies. Okay? So, if you haven't been watching Kung Fu Havoc long enough, or at all, let me break this down for you biologically in one more time. Maybe I better get this encyclopedia, if it's still in here. I don't really see it, which means it's probably not in here. Okay, it is in here. But it's gonna take some work. Yeah, probably should have had them closer to the top. Alright. This is the I, and this is the E. So, E is for Eskimo. Would help if I could spell. Plus, they're like in the back of the book. Or in the middle of the book. No, they're in the back of the book. E-S. That's E-L. I hate trying to find stuff to explain stuff. When I make a video, I should probably have everything set to go before I make the video. Alright. So, here you have Eskimo people. I know you're thinking, what does that have to do with anything, James? Trust me, I'm getting there. Okay. So, like American Indians, Eskimos belong to Mongoloid stock. Do I need to go on? They have black hair and high cheekbones, brown eyes, and wide faces. Eskimos, we're going to stop there, because that's not 100% correct. But it says Eskimos are not Indians. Wrong. Eskimos are so Native Americans. In fact, they actually are the Native Americans that spawned the rest of the Native Americans. We're going to leave that there because a lot of people don't talk about the Great Splinter. Eskimos stopped in Alaska first as the others came in. This is reversed, which is why I say sometimes you got to read some shit and then you have to actually ask. So, let's go with Indians. American Indians. And Inuit is in this encyclopedia. And the Inuit are also Native Americans. So, here we have the first Indians that came to America from Asia. Need I go on? Yes, I should. Okay. So, as of now, Native Americans, came from Asia. We got that? This is the different color wheels of Native American cultures. So, they changed by environmental standings. Alright? So if you pick up your encyclopedia, this is all of America. Not this part. This is none. This might be all of America and South America. Alright? So I may have misspoken because that's Florida right there. These are all the colored tribes and shit. So, I definitely misspoken. Alright. So, each one of these tribes changed as they went through. This is your history lesson, folks. The history that I forgot, which is how I didn't remember me being a Native American. How I didn't know Native Americans were of Asian descent. You have over 10,000 tribes, in which the Inuit also classify in. They don't want to acknowledge that because it's there. You see this little region right there? That's Canada and some of America right in there. And that's your list of all your damn tribes. Which also, if you come over here, Virginia's over here, so my people are in this list. Let me spawn them out for you. You have Cherokee and Creek. People that my ancestors are from. The southeastern and the northeastern. Because you have the Fox and the Erie and the Mohawk. They're up more north, like towards New York. So, don't worry. I'm getting around to it. Don't worry. I'm getting around. Because once I hit South America, you're going to be shocked. So you have the major tribes in the middle, like right there. Let me give you at least one. The Mandan, the Cheyenne, the Comanche, the Crow, the Kansas, the Yucatan. You see where I'm going with this? But they all spawned out of Asia. Then you got the closer northern western sides, and I'm going to give you the Chinook there. No, that's right there. For those who don't know. I sure need to get to that South America part because of these Latin stuff. Then you have the Bannock. This is California Mountains International. Then you have Southeastern, and you have the Apache and the Navajo. The Sioux is in there, but the Sioux is more like toward the middle. You have the Hopi. You get where I'm going here. Now, thousands of tribes, all out of Asia. I can't get this damn page to turn, because that would be great. As we get towards the South America side. See right down there? That's South America, and that's Mexico. So if you are of Mexican descent, which means you are Latin, unless you came from Spain itself, your ass is Asian. So you have the Aztec, you have the Maya, you have the Mictec, the Olmec, the Omni, and some shits that start with a T like the Toltec. The rest of these things I can't pronounce. But those are going into South America. Then you get further into South America, and you have the Arawak. Guess what, motherfuckers? Your ass is Asian. Then you get down to South America, where you have the Chimu. This is more like the Amazon and the Andes regions over there. No. So I'm just giving y'all a lesson about these Latin women here. No. Then you get over here into Brazil, where you still have the Arawak and the Mojo. And what's my favorite? We'll just stop at the Arawak and the Mojo, because these things are shits that I just really can't pronounce. Then you have the middle region, where you have the Ona and the Mura, and another ones with some Z's that I can't pronounce. But they all spawned from Asia. It would have been so much easier to just go to this page. Go to the last damn page and read all the fucking tribes. Alright? Now, at the time of these encyclopedias, way back in the dusty old 70s and 80s, this thing was copyrighted in 1971. And in 1971, a lot of facts about Native American culture and history was not all proven to be correct, which is why Eskimos are Indians. And they all came from Mongoloid stock. So if they all hailed out of Mongolia, Mongolia, how are they not counted as Native Americans? And same with First Nations and stuff like that. It's because history is full of mysteries covered in a cloud of gray mist. So Asians and Latins pretty much are the same. Now, the Southeast Asians, who are the ones who have the most slanted eyes, are what spawned from Mongolia into Russia, which is why certain Native Americans don't have the Imacandic fold. And once they got over, they started spawning all the way through Greenland, through Iceland, and all the way back down into America. And there was a great splinter where tribes broke off. They leave that out of the history books. So, Eskimos are Native Americans. Alright? Which is also when you fill out that thing where it says, are you Native American, including Inuit, Eskimo, or when it goes down further south and it says, are you Asian Pacific, Hawaiian Islander, etc., etc., they're all Asian. Alright? Asian's pretty much over the whole damn world. So then you have blacks, and then you have whites. So Latins technically are Asian. Now unless, and I specifically say this, if those Latin girls haven't come from Spain, then they're white. Yeah, they come from Spain. They're basically white. Because Spanish conquerors were white. The conquistadors were not Mexicans. They were white. The conquistadors conquered the baseline of the bottom of America and then wiped out all of South America, which is why most people speak Spanish and French in countries like Brazil and Chile, because they were conquered. Just like American Indian tribes and Eskimos and all of them, we were conquered. And not so much Eskimos, because, a lot of people just don't deal with the cold. But, a hot body here and there can fix that. The lady was talking about how Latin women were more superior. And when Latin women go off, it's cute and sassy, but when black women go off, it's just black rage. I really honestly think that that's just a point of view. Alright? And everybody has their point of view. You can take it with a grain of salt, or you can take it how she took it. And she took it pretty hard, and she popped up clips of Love and Hip Hop, which sadly is a show that I don't watch because I'm trying to be on TV, not watch TV. That's the difference maker with making movies and stuff. We need to all have a honest-to-God sit-down talk. Why do you think everybody's doing the 23andMe? They're doing it. Ancestry.com. They're doing it because they want to find out where they came from. They want to find out what they are. So even though when you fill out that application and you don't lie on your application, like I personally, when I fill out an application, I put down black. Now I can't say what The Rock puts down. I can't say what Tiger Woods put down. But I personally, when I fill out an application, I put down black. You have no idea how many times someone who is darker than me or a white person has asked me, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, okay, look, my last name is Williams. How much more blacker can you get? Unless you are a Jackson or a Johnston. And you forgot, or Jones. The thing with black people who come from American slaves, we took the names of our slave masters. We don't have our own names because we never knew what our last names was. When we got over here, we didn't have a last name. We had a chain. And if you were from the reservation, you either got scalped or you got indoctrinated into society where they chopped off our ponytails and taught us English. And whether it was Christian or whatever other faith it is, that's what you got. America is not built on a pretty history, but we are built on a racist, evil history, and no one wants to accept it. You can deny it all you want, but no one wants to accept it. And this spins us back around to colorism. And I'm going to have to make a fourth video, sadly, because I think I took up too much time. No, I still can go. I took up too much time on the Native American history lesson to prove about Latins and Asians and stuff like that. But spinning it back around, this is where the color wheel happens to fall into play, because people like me exist. And people like me exist because of pillaging, plundering, murdering the men of the tribes, and then raping the women and the young girls, and abortions didn't exist back then, so pop, here we go. Now in a more modern time, people like me are being born by choice because they fell in love with someone who was not of their race, whose family either rejected them or kicked them out because they was like, well, you can't have this baby because your baby's not going to be an all-white baby, an all-Asian baby, an all-black baby. And don't think that black people don't say that shit too. Don't think for a New York minute that there are no racist black people. Trust me when I tell you, fuck yeah, there is. Now, not all racism come from white people. It really don't. Not all racism come from Asian people. It really doesn't. Not all racism comes from black people. But there's a majority of all of them, of the races that I mentioned, that are racist. Not a minority, a motherfucking majority. And this is how a lot of relationships are destroyed because of people in their color wheel. If you're black and your boy or your brother is dating a Latin girl or an Asian girl, the first thing you should be, if you're their sister, is happy that they found someone to love. But that's not how it works in the black community. Trust me, I know. I dated an Asian girl. And all the black girls are like, why you gotta date her? What she got that we ain't got? And besides her personality and no attitude, that's it. And besides that, if we must be honest, the very first crush I ever had in my life was from a girl who kicked me in the face. And she was half Eskimo. And I never ever looked at other women the same after that. And after I started learning martial arts, I said, this is how this is going to work, James. You're going to marry an Asian girl and you're going to produce a child that is going to be a martial arts prodigy. So about 20% of that happened. I didn't get to marry an Asian girl and I don't have kids. So if you're Asian and you're out there and you know martial arts, I'm available. Yeah, and let's get together before my age catches up with my age. But you have to be a martial artist or a professional wrestler. Somebody who has some fighting mentality here. As well as here. Be even better if it's here, but mostly here. So, that being said, all jokes aside now, I know what I'm going to do with my life. I just need everything else to work out the way I would like it to work out. Now, when we talk about this colorism, when we talk about this color wheel, 9 times out of 10, the first thing people say is it's always the light-skinned people that are in charge of a lot of this shit. That is not always the case. Sometimes it's the dark-skinned people that are in charge and decide, well, we're not going to give this person this role because they're a light-skinned motherfucker and we want dark-skinned motherfuckers. Happens. This happens in Asia also. It just depends on what country you're in. If you are working in Korea and you are Japanese and they don't want you to play anybody but the bad guy, that's your work. You're going to play the bad guy every time. You're probably not going to ever win a fight in the action scene or whatever. And it's the same thing if you go to and you're American and they want you to play the bad guy, the shitty American. You're going to be the shitty American. And I'll take that job, by the way, if anybody from Asia is watching, because I need to work. I like to make movies. I don't give a damn if I'm the bad guy. I want to make movies for the rest of my life. So let's work that out. But, in America, if you're the black guy and you're the bad guy, it doesn't matter what color your skin is. They rarely hire the light-skinned guys to play the bad guy. They generally hire them to play the hero or the guy that gets killed to inspire the hero to go that extra mile to fuck up the bad guy. You think I'm bullshitting? Up until Wesley Snipes did Blade and Passenger 57, how many black superheroes, how many black heroes did you really see in movies? No. Wesley Snipes kind of opened that door for dark-skinned brothers. And if not Wesley Snipes, let me put it out there to some of my darker-skinned idols. Billy Blanks. Chuck Jeffries. Can't remember the other guy. Yeah, I can. Stephen James. Michael Jai White. They're darker than me. No. But even Michael Jai White played a bad guy in a trauma picture. The Toxic Avenger killed him, but, still, he played a bad guy. He was a darker-skinned brother. It wasn't until he played Spawn where he started getting more heroic roles. You see where I'm going with that. So, the color wheel does exist. And it's reverse racism sometimes, and sometimes it's not. But for the most part, before Wesley Snipes did Passenger 57, there were no dark-skinned black dudes doing hero roles in big screen movies. Now, little screen movies, Chuck Jeffries, Billy Blanks, and Stephen James, except for he did a good guy as an American Ninja, 1, 2, and 3. I can't remember if he was in the 4th one because I don't remember how that worked out. But for that amount of time, those 3 were the top black-colored guys who played heroes, unless you count Carl Weathers. Now, Carl Weathers did Street Justice, and he did In the Heat of the Night. Carl Weathers is darker than I am. All the guys I just named, they're all on the same color wheel, except for Wesley Snipes is a little bit darker than all of them. You see where I'm going with that color wheel and reverse racism. Okay? So when we're all sitting out here and we're judging people by the color of our skin versus this guy might be a good actor, we should give him the job. No, fuck that. He can't play the bad guy because his skin's too light. Let's get the other guy. It's the same bullshit that they do with The Rock. He can't play John Henry. He does not look black enough. His skin's too light. You see where we're going with that. And then, if a hero role comes along, okay, we can't give it to James because James is too short. He's only 5'3". He remotely looks nothing like a hero in any capacity. But we can give it to The Rock because The Rock's 6'5". He's strong looking and we can give it to him. And off with the careers they go. And little guys like me, we barely make the cut. Alright? So I'm not picking on The Rock. I'm not going to start a war with The Rock. Trust me, I'm not that stupid. Although if The Rock wants to give me a job, I'll gladly take it. But the whole point of the colorism amongst black people is the biggest thing. Now, I can't really speak for white people because they're basically all the same in color. They just have different color eyes. So I guess if it's a blonde guy with blue eyes and they want him to be the hero versus the black-haired guy with blue eyes, it's not like they can't dye the black-haired guy's hair. They'll work that shit out. Because white people are cool like that, where black people, on the other hand, will fight each other tooth and nail to make sure that you don't get bigger than me. It happens. Trust me. The color wheel. It's a color wheel thing. Like I said that as an example, I'll keep it modern. The Rock and Tyrese back and forth. Alright? That there in itself, that back and forth right there is just living proof of that color wheel. Tyrese is starting a lot of drama. Rock's trying to brush it under the bridge, trying to keep the money rolling. Tyrese is causing problems while he's also trying to keep the money rolling. But if y'all work together, you'll keep the fucking money rolling. Enough said. But no, the colorism will have to go to a fourth video because I've gone too far.